And we are recording. All right. So very quickly, I'm going to spend as little time as possible speaking because you all hear my voice way too often. But I do want to very quickly just introduce the Brazilian team. And well, first of all, really enthusiastic about what they're doing in Brazil. The launch of the chapter that is, I was going to say is happening, has happened. And when Tatiana asked, it's like, would you like us to share our learning and what we've been doing? I was like, absolutely yes. I think that a lot of the communities around the world will definitely have a lot to learn from. And there'll be a lot of opportunities for conversations and to go a little bit deeper. So for those who are here, obviously I'm bringing everyone in as panelists. So made the decision not to do this as like a webinar, but more of a conversation. So I think that's going to be more valuable for everyone. So as attendees join, I will just be promoting them into panelists so that they'll come on and able to share as well. What I do want to say a couple of things in terms of about, it was almost 6 weeks ago, we ran the global retrospective. And that retrospective, and in fact, this whole conversation emerged from that retrospective. And there's a lot of things that we're going to be doing out of that to try and improve both how all the communities are able to sort of promote themselves, as well as help communities to find new speakers. So you all should have already seen the new mailing lists that come out. So all the BAM leaders are on that. So we'll continue to use that and continue to share more information and more details about what's happening. Not at a micro level, there'd be too much, but certainly like some of the big picture stuff. The other thing that we will do with that is send through sort of speaker recommendations. So maybe once a month, we will start to go, it's like, here's some people who are writing some interesting things, who may be interested and available to talk. So we'll make that available to you as soon as, as about once a month, we'll start sharing that information with all of you. But that's enough rambling from me. I'm really excited to hear what the Brazilian team is doing. So Tatiana, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, thank you very much, Evan. So just for you to know and to understand what we are going to do right now, we are going to start sharing a quick video, a 3-minute video, just for you to have an understanding about who you are and how we are organized here. Then we are going to share a 15-minute presentation just to provide an overview about us here in Brazil. And after that, we'll have a conversation with our Brazilian leaders. So just for you to know from their perspectives what we are experiencing here as a community. And we'll be able to respond to anyone's questions if you do have any question for us. So this is pretty much how we are gonna, run this conversation going forward. Okay. So let's move on with step number 1. I will share a quick video with you. Let me share my audio. And I think you were able to see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
The Business Agility Institute Brazil is a community of people who want to help creating the next generation of organizations. That is our purpose. Here in Brazil, we started our activities holding meetups on business agility and other related topics. We were officially born as a community on May 5th, 2020, when we held our first kickoff meeting and shared with all the volunteers our dreams, our vision of future, and our idea about our internal organization in Nucleus of Work. The Nucleus of Work are teams that also have a purpose. Volunteers can get to know what each nucleus means on our intranet and can choose the nucleus they want to be part of. Now we are going to tell you a little bit about the possibility of relating to the Institute of Brazil. You can be a volunteer and act in the nucleus team we just shared with you. You can be a corporate member and have your company participating in our global and regional events, executive forums, access our content library, participating in our learning and communication incubators, and several other initiatives that we offer. You can be an individual member and count on several initiatives from our community to develop your career as a transformation agent. You can have your company being a sponsor of the Institute and having your brand on all our communication vehicles. Anyone can connect with our community in Brazil. You just need to feel a connection with our dream of helping organizations and people. Everything else we will discover and overcome together. Our community in Brazil is with open arms for you, wherever your interest is. To learn more about the Business Agility Institute in Brazil, visit our website.
So thank you, Evan. This was just basic information about our community here. So I'm gonna share my screen again with you. So I'm gonna run now a quick presentation about us, and then we can open up for a conversation with everyone, okay? All right, so let me know when you are able to see my screen. I think it's okay, right? Let me just.
Now we see.
Okay, thank you. All right, so this is pretty much what I'm gonna share with you right now. Let me 1 second, please. Let me just put my watch here so I don't run out of time. That's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you a little bit about who we are, what we do here, how we actually interact with each other within the community, what are our challenges, and what we plan for future. So first of all, we are actually a team that works together around our purpose. So we are actually, everyone is located in Brazil, and our, let's say, our goal or our dream is serving companies and people, building a better world. So what we want is having better companies for future generations. So this is pretty much who we are, and our purpose is actually a response to these questions that I'm sharing with you. What do you want to change in the world? Why do we exist as a community? What do you want to create together? So these are pretty much some questions that we raised in our Nucleus of Work. So we started thinking together, not only what should be purpose that we can have in the wall, but a purpose that we can live in our day-to-day in the community. So this is pretty much what we are living here as a purpose. So we exist actually to help creating new organizations, generations, connecting people and dreams. So this is pretty much what we have as a purpose here. We actually had a very nice conversation within the nucleus of work, thinking about what we imagine as a future. So what would we be celebrating 1 year ahead? So this conversation, we started reflecting together. So what would make us happy in the future? And the reason for that is that we would be celebrating the high number of people we have impact. So we want to impact lives. So this is what we imagine as our future. So for us, a future vision is the image of a realized dream. And we believe that a vision without action is just a dream. So we believe that not only dream, but we also need to action, right? So we also need to start doing things in order to achieve this vision. So a little bit about our nucleus of work. So what we call nucleus of work here are teams that have their own goals, connect with our community goals, and they work together to achieve those goals. So these are pretty much our nucleus of work. Today we have 8. We started with 5. The other 3 emerged after we have initiated. So for example, they emerged because of our needs here as a community. So for example, we are growing too fast, and we thought that what would be a good idea to have a nucleus for automate, thinking about how we could automating some process and thinking about some governance and things like that. So we have created a structuring nucleus just to help us on that. So this is pretty much how we work. So things emerge from our needs, and we adjust the way we work here. So I'm going to share now with you who are our facilitators. So each nucleus of work has a facilitator or a leader, whatever we like calling these people. The most important thing to tell and to share about them is that they are here as nucleus facilitators because these people are the ones that are willing to help the community more. So these facilitators have emerged because they were in front of everything we do, willing to help. There are 2 things really important for us here as a community. The first thing is the hospitality. So for us, it's very important to welcome everyone, even if they are strangers. We think that this builds a strong community. The other thing is generosity. Think about what you can give to the community and not about what you can take from the community. So this is pretty much our spirit here. So people that join us because they want to give, they want to donate to the community to build a better world. So this is pretty much some values that we see alive within the community, and I just want to highlight some of them. The simplicity. So we have big dreams here. But we also think with simplicity, what we can do next, what can be our simplest next step so we can start moving on. Being humble, I think these people are here as facilitators and leaders. All of them are very humble and willing to serve everyone else more than directing people, more than commanding and controlling people. So serving others, being humble, being willing to learn day by day. of course, collaboration. So we don't see others as competitors. We don't see other communities as competitors. We see them as collaborators. So we want to create a big ecosystem of collaboration here. So I'm just go real quickly here about each nucleus of work. The digital marketing nucleus is the one that is concerned about providing visibility of our community in social medias. The structuring nucleus is the one that is concerned about allowing people to give more value to the community in providing technology to support bringing automatization to our community. The corporate nucleus is the one that is connecting us with Brazilian companies, actually. The knowledge nucleus is concerned about giving meaning to knowledge. So what knowledge is really about? How can we really add value about knowledge and not only about information? How can we build knowledge and sharing knowledge constantly, continuously? The individual nucleus is concerned about bringing humanity to the community, talking about human being, concerned about people, about who we are as people. The connections nucleus is concerned about connecting other entities, not only companies, with our community. So companies, associations, professionals categories. So what other connections can be helpful for us? The diversity nucleus, this one is very interesting because this nucleus emerged from one meeting where we had a Negro person, and he raised his hand and said, there is no Negro in this community. So we invited him to start the diversity nucleus and start talking about this within the community. Diversity is very important for business agility. So why not having a nucleus about diversity here? And the last one is the empowerment nucleus. So this nucleus is concerned about people in need, people that suffered from COVID-19, people that really need our support as citizens, as a society, concerned about bringing more humanity to the world and helping people that need more from us. So what do we do is my next sharing here with you. So we didn't start with this organization in nucleus of work. We actually started with some experimentations. Back in September last year, we created some internal organization. Then we put together some reflection about what would be our starting point. In November, we start some meetups. December, we together with another community here, we participating, sharing a little bit about business agility. January and March, more meetups. And then only in May this year, we were able to launch our community, to kick off the community. So this is just for you to know that a lot of experimentation have been done until we were able to get more organized. And then a lot of things have been done after we kicked off our community. Here is just for you to know about our connections here in Brazil in some numbers. So in January, we were about 800 people connected to us via Meetup platform. Today, we are 1,097 people. We have about 200 volunteers. In Slack, Brazilian community, Brazilian channel, let's say, in Slack, we have 77 people. Directly working with us in our nucleus of work, we are 36. And we are 9 facilitators. So this is pretty much for you to know. We are not concerned with only numbers. We are concerned with people and people that want to connect with us. But just for you to know about the number of those people today. So what do we do now? In our nucleus of work, we work in cycles. So every 3 months, we define a goal for the coming 3 months, and then we look back to the past 3 months and share what we have achieved and share with everyone and discuss what we can improve. So this is pretty much our way of working. Each nucleus of work has a goal, and work together to achieve this goal for the next 3 months. How do we interact? So this is pretty much, so just for you to know, technology that is supporting us. We have an intranet for Brazilian volunteers. So this is how we communicate with them, what we have in the nucleus of work, and how they engage with us, and etc. Of course, we use Zoom. And we also have Trello as a great support. We have all our nucleus meetings agenda in there. We have backlogs and everything in there. And of course, Slack. Our challenge. So just a little bit about our challenge. The first one, not thinking about changing others, coming up with right questions, the one that do not reinforce control and dominance. So this is pretty much to redirect our attention on what we can do, not how we can expect others to change. So for example, we do not discuss what we can do to engage others. We discuss what we can do ourselves, make these things really cool, to really build a new, a better world, and how we can give visibility to others. Others will engage if this makes sense to them. So engaging others is a very command and control way of thinking, in our opinion. Engaging others to do what we want them to do. This is not what we think about here. Communication is also a challenge. Keeping the team small and connected, internalizing a culture of sharing. This is always a challenge. We are always discussing how we can improve our communication. Work with possibilities and not problem-solving mindset. Companies used to work to solve problems. This doesn't build a new world. Communities can work with new possibilities. So this is a challenge because it looks like that people are problems driven, but we want people that start dreaming more, start imagining what is possible to build together. Giving visibility to others about what we do. This is also a very huge challenge, allowing everybody inside and outside the community to be aware of what is happening. We are also discussing that there and thinking about new ways of providing visibility of what we do. Sustain a family feeling, even growing. This is a huge challenge, and we really want this to happen. We want to look at everyone in Brazilian community and see family member and care as a family member. This is a challenge, but this is what we want to build. So think about what you can give to the community and not about what you can get from the community. This is a challenge because people used to think more about advantages that they can take more than what they can give. So we really want to have this feeling of donating to the world. And lastly, focus on the community strengths and not problems. Only resolving problems doesn't build a new world. We need to create new reference. So this is what we believe. It is a challenge, but we want to face this challenge. In our plans for future, we want to improve Brazilian corporate and people offerings to better serve companies and people. So you want to have services that can reflect all we can improve in the world. So this, through our services, people can experiment different way of doing things. The other one is increasing Business Agility Brazil members and volunteers, so together we can change the world. This is pretty much our intranet and how we can, any one of you can connect to us here in Brazil. So this is just, as I said, a quick overview about us here. So thank you very much for listening to me. And now I think we can move on to a better and open conversation. Thank you so much.
All right, that was fantastic. Yeah, I'll just bring this over to the right screen, so I'm looking at you, not over to my other screen. Thank you. The nucleuses, could you bring up that screen with the nucleuses again? Just for a second.
Which one?
With the nucleuses at the beginning.
At the beginning? Okay, so let me just do one thing here because it will be quick here.
So a large point of this, so while Tatiana is doing, my stutter is really bad today, I'm sorry. While Tatiana is bringing that up, I just want to add that when Tatiana offered to share how the Brazilian community is working, I thought this was a great opportunity for the other communities to really think about how they're structuring, how they're working, and see if there were opportunities to learn from and to leverage with each other. So this is your opportunity to ask questions of the Brazilian team, what's working, what's not working, any challenges that they faced along the way, how they've overcome them, and how they're engaging with the broader community. The part that I found particularly interesting was the nucleuses, the social marketing, it wasn't this slide, it was the one with the circles and the name. Yep, the next one I think it was.
This
next
one?
one? No, next
The
one.
double loops.
The loops. Yeah, these
That's the
ones.
one.
This one. So I found it really, it's quite none of the other communities are structured in quite this kind of way, where you've got your digital marketing, you've got your structure, you've got your corporate individuals with a lead responsible for each, and others helping to support and propagate. And in large part, this kind of ownership of outcomes is something that I think is really showing, it's paying dividends in the way that Brazil is going as a community. So I want to sort of just pause there and sort of bring the conversation open to anyone who has thoughts or questions, and see where the conversation goes. So, and everyone who's a panelist. Yes, you can stop sharing, sorry. Okay. I just wanted to highlight that one because I thought that was particularly unique. But you're all panelists, so you're all able to unmute and talk. So ask your questions.
Yeah, I have some questions here that I really would like, each one of our leaders to share a little bit about their perspective, right? Because my perspective is only my perspective, right? So I don't have the proof. So it's really important that they share their perspective. So I have some questions that I will start asking them, but anyone can, raise another question if you are interested in knowing, in understanding something more, okay? So let me start with Cristiana Improta. And the question for you, Chris, is, so in your perspective, so how does Brazilian community or chapter look like? So can you share a little bit about your perspective?
I'm sorry, I forgot to mute. Hi, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and present our experiences and challenges to you. So I'd say we look like right now like a small, we're a small group of very dedicated people. We're like, you know, people that are actually involved every week in the nucleuses. We're about 30 people, and we obviously share an interest in business agility. But I think we also have a common purpose of stretching the edge of what's possible in terms of helping
Larry is
organizations.
Patrick. He keeps playing phone tag. I was.
Okay. Stretching the edge in terms of what is possible in terms of helping Brazilian organizations or organizations in Brazil, not necessarily Brazilian organizations, in their journeys towards business agility. I think we get really excited about doing stuff that hasn't been done before. So that's what I'm calling stretching the edge of possibility. So that's what I think we look like. You know, really it's a small group of very dedicated people and very passionate people that are really trying to do something. It's a labor of love. I really do think so. It's a labor of love. So that's what I think. That's it.
Oh, now I was the one on mute. Sorry. So thank you so much, Chris. Okay, so let me see. Next one. I do not see Ana Negrão. Not sure if she dropped it.
She's
Here she is. Here she is. So Ana, let me move to you. So you are the one. You are the newest one actually in this team, and you are actually taking care about people that are the ones that need more help, right? So the empowerment nucleus. So tell us a little bit, what was the starting point for this nucleus?
Well, I think that the starting point of the nucleus was pretty much related to the situation that we are living in, not only in our country, in the world. With the pandemic, many people have lost their jobs, have lost their income, and the starting point of the nucleus was one action that was created by a group of volunteers, that is a Colabora Corona. And this action, this initiative, what was really was to help to support financially and people that have lost their job. And the proposal was related, the initiative was related to the base of the pyramid people, the people that was really suffering with do not having money to buy food to their houses. So the initiative, the nucleus, started with this initiative, and we have helped through this initiative a lot of people here in Brazil. And talking to Tatiana, we were connected in our volunteer action that was related to developing girls and women to have better situation, better scholarship. We put together people that wanted to help other people, and we started this initiative. This happened, I think, in June, and we are very happy because we have already 8 initiatives being worked together at the same time, really to support our objective, that is helping people with their needs.
Excellent, Ana. And this is my passion. This núcleo is my passion, because we are really, we are really dedicated to people that really need basic help, right? They need food, they need something to make money to support their families. So in this, it's really important for us to have this team who concerned about these people in our community here. So thank you so much, Ana. Well, people, whoever wants to raise a question, feel free to do it. So, okay, so if you don't ask question, I'll keep going and ask the ones I have here, okay? All right, so Alceu, could you share a little bit about how Brazilian leaders emerged in this community? So we have shared in the presentation that we have a group of facilitators/leaders. So how did this happen? So how those people filled those positions in the community?
Okay, thank you, Tati. Hi, everyone. I think that we have a very organic context, because this is a volunteer work. So people is here because they want to be, for whatever reasons they have that may be interests of them, and to give something also to the community, or to help build something. But it's a complete volunteer work. And so I think that everything that is happening, the way I see it, is that it's very organic, because there is not opportunity, let's say, to impose things to anybody, right? It's something that it's just what it is. So in this way, I think that leaders emerge kind of naturally, because they somehow volunteered, because they volunteered to do something, and then it started something that grew, and they at some point in the beginning became leader of that. Or so it's a kind of really emergent thing. And I don't think that, for example, I think that the leadership role is very well, it can change at any time, right? It's something that it's simply the way we are structured now. It's the way we are structured now, and as we evolve, this will change. And but the groups, or the núcleos, I follow 2 núcleos, right? The one that I'm leading, that's Connections, and the other is the Knowledge. And the way I see is that we are like, even the purpose of the núcleos is evolving, right? It's something that we started something, it has been changed along the time. So it's a very good way of working. That's the way I would summarize.
Oh, very nice, Alceu. So let me move to, let me see if I can see him. I'm looking for Guilherme. I do not see him. So let me move to Caio. So Caio, what would be the tips that we think, in your opinion, based in our experience here in Brazil, we can provide to other communities around the world that are trying to initiate a community, or are struggling with issues to put people together. So what would be your advice or some tips?
Okay. Hi everyone. I think we can do is to participation in creation meetups. I think it's very good tool to use. We are using meetups. I think this is a good start to take people to listen to our what we can say about the business agility. I think is after this person enter in our nucleus or in our own the Slack, I think you have to captivate them to participate in the meetings, in the discussions. I think the talk to one in with these people, I think is a good tool to be more proximate this on these people. I think this is a good tip. This we're doing here in our community. I think this.
Thank you, Kyle. All right, so let me ask you, everybody that is here now, other than responding to my questions, I just like you to think about anything that come up in your mind right now, and that you could say to anyone that listening us right now, or that will see this video later, because many people will see what we are sharing here later. So anyone that is facilitating the work in this community, that is leading the work in this community, Cris, Ana, Alceu, Luis, Caio, Evelyn, or anyone else, or also I see some people that are also working in the community, are not, in a facilitator position, but maybe you also have something you'd like to share. Conrado, maybe Marina from Empowerment Group, maybe Danielle from Individual Group, maybe Paula. So feel free to share anything that come up in your mind right now. So I'm gonna leave my facilitator position, and I'll let it's up to you to run this conversation.
I want to say one quick thing. Text to us, send a message to us in the Slack. I think it is a good start to share the knowledge, change information. So free to go, talk to us in the Slack. I think is a good start to change the knowledge.
Yes, and if you do not know who to contact Caio. He was the first one offering help here. Is that fine with you, Caio?
No problem.
Okay, all right.
Can you find me? Then can call me.
All right. So, people, feel free to share whatever you want. So remember that many people around the world will listen to the video. Will see you saying something that can help them. So just share whatever is in your mind right now.
I want to say something. Actually, I want to say two things. I don't know, when I was watching the presentation and I was listening to you speak, and you talked a little bit about values. And there's one value that I actually see in our community that I don't think was there, and it's courage. And I think for I don't know, not few times, quite a lot of times actually, during meetings we stop and we ask ourselves, do we realize how courageous we are to even propose this? So that's just something that I wanted to bring up, because I think it's a very present quality in our community, and I'm very proud of that. That's one thing. The other thing is, the other thing is about actually the community itself and the community feeling. And you talked about this family feel of, you know, being, even as we grow bigger, like feeling like we're small because we actually know other people. I think this is so important to us that right now, just as, you know, with 35 people working in the various nucleuses, we're actually starting to propose a few initiatives so that we can know each other, not only as professionals that share a common interest in business agility, but who we are as, you know, the whole of who we are. And that those initiatives are born out of the belief that it's the whole of who we are that make us a community and not just what we do together as professionals, you know, in favor of, you know, helping organizations through their journeys towards business agility. So that's the other thing. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Chris. Conrado, please.
Two things. First, I forget that it will be recorded, so I didn't take a better background. We are making some changes here in house for the baby, so today was
bring in the dog. Bring in the dog. It will make
dog's
everything
out.
better. Oh, the
Dog's out. It's a mess today. Here is a total mess. This group and all the conversations that we have here helped me a lot to think about who I want to be as a people, as a person, and as a professional. So investing my time here in all this change, all the Chris questions, it's helped me a lot, bringing me a lot of knowledge and really helping with the change we have on the job, and it is incredible time. It's some hours for a week, but it's a good numbers.
Thank you, Conrado. So nice to have you here. I think there is one thing that is really important for us to live in harmony with. This thing in my vision is being okay with failing. So it's not a problem if we schedule a meeting and only one person show up. Let the meeting move on. Discuss what you want to do. So it's okay. Failing is okay. Failing is very good. So do whatever you believe and do not expect the result, the immediate result. Keep moving. Keep believing. So this is something I have inside me. I do not care if I am sharing what we have done just with 2 or 3 people. It's okay. So do not expect that a lot of people will join you in the first moment. So this is not the way it works. So a movement starts with 2 people. 2 people talking about what they believe. So, and this is really important. So sometimes we think that failing is, again, it's just, you know, something that play against success. No, I don't think this way. So failing is a requirement for success.
Sometimes it's not even failing, it's just something that's going to take you somewhere else, you know?
Okay, who would like to be the next one? We have 10 more minutes. Silence is good as well. If you want to keep in silent, that's not a problem. Anna.
Yes, let me share. I think that one of, while Chris was talking about the values of the community here in Brazil, I was thinking about the reason why I am I am part of the community, and I think that being part of the Business Agility Institute in Brazil is giving us an opportunity for us to put in practice what we believe and which is the proposal of the Institute. For example, being a leader facilitator of a team of volunteers invite us to live what we believe. We are one of the things that you share during your presentation about not thinking about offending others, the ones that do not reinforce control and dominance. And I think that this is much related with our with what we are doing here, right here, because we can learn and experiment to be a leader of volunteers, and in this way we can learn and practice this in our professional life, and putting in practice what we have learned here in our whole life. So I think that this is a very good opportunity, and it is really related to our objectives from the Institute.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much.
Hi. Yeah, my name's Patrick, and I'm from Canada, actually. And I have to say, first, I admit, I missed a lot of presentation because you caught me right-handed. I was getting lots of calls coming in still. But anyway, I was very impressed with your presentation, and obviously, thank you for presenting it. And I got a couple of things, questions. One is, you seem to have a lot of first of all, I may ask some questions that other people have asked already, right? So forgive me if I'm let me know if I'm wasting everyone's time. How many volunteers do you have in your organization?
As we have shared in our presentation, we have some passive volunteers and some active volunteers, right? So we have a lot of people connected to us. So via Meetup platform, more than 1,000. So we have 200 people connected to us and actually in some way coming to our events and etc. But they do not really help building the community.
Okay.
We have 7 people in Slack, in the channels in Slack and etc. And we have 36 people actively working in our nucleus of work. So this is pretty much how we are, how our volunteers are connected to us.
Right.
Our leadership team, we are 9.
I see. All right. So I'm in Toronto, so we have about 10 people in our core group, and these pretty much it's everything. One of the biggest challenges we have is that everyone's busy. Like like me, I'm juggling multiple things all the time, and most of us are either we're all leading something, right? So it's very hard to find time to do a lot of things, and like Evan said, your circles and your structure is, looks like a company, right? The way that the organization is structured is very focused, and you have enough flexibility and purpose built into the structure itself, whereas most volunteer-based organizations are not, right? And I think that's one of the challenges we have, and the biggest reason for that is it's volunteer basis, because we think it's volunteer basis, therefore we're not putting any demands on people, trying not to demanding too much on the people, and most is people putting in I think in a very stringent organization that I've seen in our Agile community in Canada is the one that does the Toronto the Agile Tour conferences. They have meeting all year round, and 1 hour a week, right? And I think basically 4 hours a month is what they put in. How much time does your volunteers put in, like active core members?
Yeah. Let me just share something, actually my perspective with you about being busy. Everyone here is too busy, including me. So I actually have my own company, and I have my customers, and everybody is busy. But
Yep.
you are never too busy for something that is really important for you, right? So
Yep.
I do not messy myself. We have 8 nucleos. I am in all meetings of the nucleos. We meet weekly at night. So this is one thing. So I think that people are too busy for something that is not too important. If it is too important, you will find a way, right? You can get connected in Slack, you can look for support. Sometimes you will miss one meeting, but we can contact others to understand what happened. So this is one thing. Another thing is that you cannot push people that are volunteers. So they are free. They are free to participate if that is what you are doing makes sense to them. So sometimes we have people that jump in our meeting, and we never see them again. Sometimes we see people that are together with us for some time, and then they leave. And we have people that are together with us all meetings, and that started, for example, 2 weeks ago. Let me see if he is here. Daniel, for example. Daniel joined our community a couple of weeks ago, and he already feels himself part of this community. So the engagement and being too busy is a matter of decision, right? So it's up to others. So the advice that I could give to you is do our best. If you really believe, keep moving. And let people join you. They will join you.
Okay. I still want to get an idea of how much work you be able to accomplish what you have. How much work do you actually put in?
Sorry, what is the question again?
How much work do you put in? How many hours of work do you put in a week?
Okay. I don't want to be the only one responding to questions, so please, could you respond to that one? I know you are able to.
We have 8 nucleuses of work. Each nucleus meets weekly for about an hour, or for exactly an hour. Okay? And sometimes we do have some work that has to be done, from one week to the other in between meetings, but it's not a lot. And when you find out that people can't do it, we usually just reserve some of the time of the meeting so that people can do whatever it is. Like if we agreed that we were going to read something, and not everyone had the time to read it, so we allow like 5 or 10 minutes during the meeting to do it. So we do whatever's possible with the time that we have. And this schedule actually is something else that emerged, and people just we talked about how we, how we felt about, how regularly we needed to meet, and it's a coincidence, actually, I think, that everyone wanted to meet weekly, but it's just the way things happen. It doesn't
each circle
that way. Yeah.
So, sorry. Right. Each
No,
circle has their own cadence.
Has their own what?
They meet at different frequencies, or.
It's a coincidence that they all meet weekly. We all meet weekly, but it doesn't have to be that way. Like the digital marketing nucleus, I think, has more of a flexible agenda. Sometimes they meet more, sometimes they meet less in terms of what they're doing, but they have this
It's,
Usually it's
just
weekly.
to complement, our meetings is on after hour of work in the night.
Right.
So this is very helpful to the persons who participate. So I think this is a good point to share to you. I think this is help because after the work time that we start our meeting. So
Right.
in myself,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about I'm doing 16 hours of in a month, more or less.
16
So
hours in a
1 month,
week, 1 month. Okay, so
yes,
okay, okay.
more or
That's,
less. So my
yeah,
example.
yeah.
So,
Good.
but one thing
Good for
is
you.
help is the time to the meeting. I think this
Yes.
is very good to
Yeah.
all the persons to connect in the meeting.
Yeah. I think in terms of meetings, we do once every 2 weeks, right? And most of the time, people can make it. Uh, it's not the meeting itself that actually takes time. It's actually what are you going to do? What are the events that preparing, and I think for that conference, really they take a whole year to prepare for that conference. And for other stuff, webinars, there's other things, and marketings and outreach and all that stuff. How did you define how did you define your purpose? Is it does each nucleus define your own purpose, and how did you find a new topic, a new nucleus, right? And define your target audience. Anybody can jump in.
Yeah, anyone on that
I
one?
can jump
Yeah,
in this
someone
one.
different. Alceu,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that it is like it's the group itself that defines. So I would say that we are each nucleus is a self-directing
Right.
team, right? So we define our own process of working. We define people comes in and comes out as they want, right? So the who participates in each team is by themselves. They choose to participate, and in terms of direction, purpose, the group itself defines its own purpose. So it's what we would call a self-directing team. Each nucleus is a self-directing team because they define even their own purpose. Not only membership, not only the way how we work, but also the purpose. And it's something that is evolving because when we start, Tatiana brought for our group, for example, and I believe that this happens pretty much in many groups, brought an initial idea of purpose, right? So I think that we can build a group around this purpose. And then we start the nucleus, the groups, and the teams start discussing, and we went refining because it must be what the team believes and wants to be the purpose. It cannot be Tatiana's will, right? By herself.
Oh, yeah.
She participates and can give her inputs, but otherwise the people, the team will not engage. That's the way I think.
And how do you publish your purpose? And how do you let other people know that this is my purpose? You're free to join me. Please come, and this is what we do.
Anyone
for your nucleus. Yeah.
wants to take that?
Let me
Is Guilherme here?
Let me just share one thing because this is related with a tool. So we have our intranet, and this is our main communication tool. So what we do, our inspiration of each nucleus, and everything else is in there. So we share our internet link with people outside of the community. This is their first contact with us. Okay, I just would like to add one thing about the freedom that the community has. So freedom is very important. People are free to come in and come out. Commitment is also very important. So we know people that are very committed with the community. So we count on them to move on. You know what I mean? So we know who are the people that we can count on. And these people are the 36 that are in the nucleus of work today. So I just like to ask a question to Daniel. So Daniel, could you share a little bit about your experience in this community? So you are very new, but I know you are very inspired about individual nucleus of work. So if you can share a little bit about your perspective, it would be great.
Sure. It's good to be with you guys. So basically, what the first thing that calmed my action is like we have an opening message from Tatiana that is so beautiful, that shows our purpose and also this this belief that we can change the world and how we work together and how we work with organizations. So this set my attention, and I just believed that I have to participate with this team. So basically, this called me in the right time. And when I started working with the guys, with Chris and the team, I found this. We have an open space to co-create. So it's very good to be part of this team and to join, to believe, to understand our purpose, because as we said, we are defining some things. We are defining the service that we will provide for company or for people. So when we work with the nucleus of individuals, we are touching several points that are hard to people to say, but we are doing this easy and we are doing this nicely. So we are connecting peoples, and I believe this is a great experience. I think when we can connect all these sentiments and put these connections together, we don't think about how hard it is to work or how often we need to meet, and we feel great to be part of this. So this is how I feel about this experience.
Yeah. Thank you, Daniel. So can any of you share with some of the outcome and impact you have made to the what have you achieved from your nucleus?
Can I share?
Sure,
Well, yes. Thank you for your question, because we were really proud of the achievement that we made in our nucleus, and not proud because we did, but proud because we were able to connect what he did with the objective of the nucleus. I'm facilitating the empowerment nucleus. There is really, the proposal is to help people, to support them, to find out, to support these people, the minorities, for them to have opportunities to grow, things like that. And during our conversations in our group, we have realized, looking for the situation here in Brazil with the pandemic, things like that, that a lot of people have lost their job and incomes, things like that. And we have decided to organize a meeting, an event that would help these people that is in the basic of the pyramid, people with little study, little opportunities for new jobs, things like that, different than our IT communities, people who are really people that are doing the jobs more simple, okay? And in less than 1 month, we were able to organize this event, and the event had the proposal to help people. First of all, looking to help them on how to do a CV, to help them on how to get better opportunities to find a job, okay? Or also the other part of our event was to spark ideas of entrepreneurship that people could do with little financial resources and from their homes. So we were able to organize this event, and last Saturday we have more than 12 volunteers that worked during the whole Saturday, leading the event, leading the conversation, and we were able to reach more than 400 people in terms of visualization of our event. So it was something that really gave us a sense of, well, we were able to help these people, and luckily they will find out ideas and manners to support their financial lives.
Right. Okay, that's great. Thank you, Anna. And so how in Canada, especially in Toronto, as it's the largest city in Canada, and by a big proportion, right? So it tends to have a lot of meetups and groups. Right? We have a lot of volunteer groups, and even on the Agile front, you can attend a meetup every night, right? You won't hit the same one, right? So that was one of the things that we were wondering about, is like, should we really have a meetup, and how directly do we need to connect to the purpose of business agility in terms of and how that different than the other the Agile and Lean meetups. And I know Brazil also has a quite vibrant Agile community. How does your group interact with the other Agile group, and how does your nucleus differ than any of the other Agile meetups?
Yeah, Patrick, I have some one perspective about that. I think meetups are a good starting point. A community is not about meetups, right? So a community is about building a new world. A community is about to connect people to build things differently. About connections, this is something that maybe Alceu can provide his perspective, because we discussed it a lot about connecting with other Agile communities, and we actually had the conclusion that our identity is completely different, right? So we are a business agility community, not an Agile community. And actually, what we want is that companies and people understand the difference. So sometimes if we are together and mix it with other Agile communities, it's hard for you to distinguish from them, right? So it's good to have connections with other Agile communities, but it's very important that you have in mind that business agility is not agility, and the identity is very different. So lastly, we decided not to reach out to other Agile communities to get connected with them. So if they reach out to us, if they look for us, that's fine, we will discuss that. But this is not our priority here, you know? To connect with other Agile communities, this is not what we are looking for. We are looking for building a different identity. Is that right, Alcel?
Perfect. That's it. We had these discussions in the team, in the group. That's so when we started the first, I think it was the second meeting, we did for the connections group. We discussed, okay, what type of communities or entities or people we want to connect with. And there were all kinds of people. And it was there was no kind of identity, right? Because we have everything in there, right? Because everybody that was there brought some ideas and so on.
Yeah.
And then we start discussing, grouping them, and discuss, okay, really, who are the people that we really want to connect? Then a new group was born. That's the Empodera group. This one type of connection we want to have is relate to empowerment of people. And the other, okay, more business-like. Let's say we have a corporate group, okay, what else? And then we start to discuss, do we bring together, do we connect with other Agile? And one thing that happened is that we realized that this is not our, let's say, our audience or our public. We are really looking to connect with business people. So it's not the way, because when you talk about Agile groups, they generally are developers, maybe some Scrum Masters, some project managers, things like that. But it's like more technical people and more IT. And this is not what you're willing to get in touch. So we are then moving, and this, what I said, that the purpose evolves, right? Now we are targeting to connect with this kind of business people, to talk about business agility.
Can I just add something? I'm sorry, Patrick. I just want to add something to a previous question that you made, which I thought was very important when you asked about outcomes. And I think we have a lot more to share in terms of outcomes. And people from the respective nucleuses can help me here, but we have an executive forum coming up that's being orchestrated by the corporate nucleus. We have a proposal with the American Chamber of Commerce here in São Paulo, the largest city in Brazil. We have another one being cooked that's going to be for FEBRABAN, which is a federation of banks. And this is, this is reaching out for our audience outside, but inside the community, we just launched an initiative called Living the Questions. It's something that we do inside, and it's supposed to be a service for the outside world, but we're actually experimenting with it inside the community, and that's about we choose a question that's actually moving people at the time in our community, and we just sit with it for a while and we talk about it. And we had a the purpose is not to actually answer the question, but explore it to the best of our ability and to the deepest possible ways of understanding that question and where it might lead us in terms of opening a space for the new, right? Mm-hmm. So, and we had a very, very good experience with the first one. We thought it would be just one session, and it ended up being 2 sessions because the experience was so good. We decided we wanted to continue with the first question. So there's a lot going on, and we're very happy, and we're a 5-month community, so we're very happy.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes. Thank you so much, Chris. Okay, we still have 9 minutes I really would like to.
Can I make a question?
Paula, yeah, I know you want to say something, Paula. So just for us to set expectations about our time. So we will hear from Paula, and then I really would like to hear from Evan and about this experience, and if you have a final word, and if you have also some advice for us here in Brazil, and from your perspective, what you can tell us. And if anyone else would like to leave a final message after Paula, please feel free to do so. Okay?
I think I will follow you a bit. I mean, because I think first I'm part of the corporate nucleo, and I also part of the individual group. And I think my question, actually first, I think my experience as being part of this is definitely, I think, a sense of, you know, gaining in both sides, because I think I'm learning a lot with the group, with the community. And on the other side, I always have the sense that I'm contributing in a way or another. But I always have this feeling when we end a meeting, when we, you know, that we could exchange, that we could learn together, that we could create things, as Chris was mentioning. And I think the questions that I would like to bring to you, and a bit following your question, Patrick, is how you guys that are more experienced or have seen a lot around the world, how have you differentiated, how have you created value for the business community, for business leaders who are, you know, trying to transform their business, try to respond to this world? So
sure. We start with in terms of our core members are fairly seasoned in their own ways, right? And we have defined our purpose as in try to help companies to deal with survive and thrive in this VUCA world, right? In the VUCA environment. And we have narrowed our targets to people who has influence to introduce changes. And our target market is in medium to large size companies. So I think our purpose is much narrower. Our focus was much narrower than what you have. And but there's a lot of things I can see that we can become. We're almost operating as one or two of the nucleuses that you're operating, right? And we have hosted many webinars, for example, right? So we decided purposely not to have meetups because the target audience we try to reach is like directors and up, or VPs and execs, and in the large companies. So there's certain time of the day that they're reachable, and there's also certain topics that they'll come, right? So we always try to bring in the thought leaders in each category, and purposely avoiding IT topics, but sometimes I touch upon it, like we did the topics on finance, HR, marketing, things like that, right? And talk about mergers. And things that you would not normally talk in the agile community, right? And but we do have a very strong agile bias, because the people who's in the core group all came from that side of the community. And this is where I only have one question left, is that kind of makes me wonder is, what is the background for each of you, as you know, you lead your own nucleuses, and because this is a question always in my mind as well, is that I think the makeup of the team determines also the direction you can go and the things you can accomplish, right? And just like structure, how I personally believe that structure is very, very important in any type of organization, overwhelmingly. So I hope that I answered your question, Paula.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
I want to thank you so much, you know, for your questions, and your interest is like palpable. So thank you very much for, you know, for all the interest. And I hope we can stay connected, you know, and
For sure.
share experience. So really, thank you. Thank you for all your interest. And to answer your last question, I'm an org development consultant, like very shortly, so we can let other people speak. And
So, sorry, what development?
I'm an organization development consultant.
Organization.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I know, Tatiana, you say you owned your own company. We're not sure what type of company that is.
Well, I have worked with Evan at IBM. I have all my professional life was inside IBM. Then I have worked at a Spanish consulting company as well, Everest. And then I left Everest and I created my own company last year.
Okay, thank you. I don't know, should we? Because I know everyone's screen is different. So I have an order in my Hollywood Square screens. Should I ask, or you guys will just volunteer? Okay, I'm gonna go ask in the sake of time. Anna?
Well, I used to work in consultant companies as Accenture and Everest. That is the same Spanish company that Tatiana used to work. I was an IT director, but four or 5 months ago, I left the company to really work in the empowerment organization things, because I want to transform the world in helping the people to develop themselves. So I used to be IT, but not anymore.
Thank you, Anna. And I'm gonna apologize for mispronouncing everyone's name.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. No, not at all.
Elcio?
I'm an IT executive at background. I was CIO, and I have been with Agile for 6 years, working as a consultant now.
Okay, thank you. Daniel?
Yeah, so I'm a business analyst from Career and worked as a consultant many years. And now I'm a business partner, IT business partner at a retail company in Brazil.
Okay, that's great. So entrepreneurial. Conrado? You muted.
I worked for many years on IBM, and then I go to Everest with Tatiana. And actually, I am at Hospital Sírio-Libanês. It's a big hospital here in Brazil. And we are bringing agility to all hospital, assistential, IT. It's a great job for me. It's amazing.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm having trouble with this one. Is it? Caio or Chayo?
Caio, great.
Caio.
Great.
Okay, there you go.
I'm changing the job, and today I started a new job
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah. In a student company called Cogna. Is the biggest one in Brazil of the college and the foundation studying. But I work 8 years in a company of an outsourcing IT called T-Systems. So most of the time in operational management, and now I'm the service delivery management.
Okay.
Okay, right. Patrick. Now you are ready to decide who you would like to hire.
Yeah, I see two more people. I just want to give them a fair chance first. We'll make them quick. Daniela?
I don't think that Daniela and Luis are able to listen to us.
Okay. Oh, Luis, no,
okay,
he's proving you wrong.
I am a senior manager in UI I work in IT.
Oh, awesome.
It's IT and UX design.
Oh yeah, UI UX. Yeah, I need that. I do need that.
I think now everybody's needs.
That's right. That's right, for sure. Yeah.
I am a management consultant. I worked as a consultant, management consultant since 1997. And
Wow, that's a lot of time.
oh yes, it's a lot of time. I am 17 years old, but I work.
Yeah, you look so young. Oh my God. You started like in your kindergarten or something.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we are 2 minutes out of time, so I'm very concerned with time box as Evan. So I just would like to leave a big thank you. Thank you for this time, this conversation. It was awesome. Thank you to you, Evan, to give us here in Brazil the opportunity to share what we are doing and follow all opportunities that I'm sure will come in our way. And for everything, we will be together. So thank you so much for creating the Business Agility Institute and giving us the opportunity to change the world, because we will. So thank you. And I just like to hear and leave the final message to you.
All right, well, thank you. As I said, we are over time, and I think most people pretty much dropped off by now. But the recording will go online. I'll share it with all the BAM leaders and the chapter leaders later today or early tomorrow. And this has been really good. And I've learned stuff as well. So this is my job. So I've learned stuff as well, so this has been good. And thank you, Patrick, for the really good questions.
Thank you.
That was very good as well. All right.
Yeah.
On that note, I'll stop the recording and wish you all a great, what are we? Evening for most of you. Yes. Time zones.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've never been to Brazil. Would love to visit.
Please do.
You are invited.
Our regional conference next year, 2021, second semester.
Wow. Yeah.
Start
Oh,
planning.
yeah. I'm hoping we can fly that by that time.
So are we. Same
Yeah.
thing. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.